Let's do this live. Do I have my mic on? Let's see if I have my mic on. Hello. This is Jen with Jen's Den Art, and I am back. There we go. I did not have my mic on. I am back. We are back. Michael is here too.
Yay.
We are back for day, what is this? Day 6. Day 6 of our Acrylic 101. Don't worry, we're not running out of information to discuss. My name is Ginger LaCour. I am an acrylic artist. I teach women and men how to paint using acrylic paints, and we have a lot of fun painting on a weekly basis in our membership, and sometimes on a monthly basis if you're in our mini tribe. And I am going to write on my paper today, old school style, just like I did when I started teaching at 23 years old. Day 6. What is day 6 about? Day 6 is about to draw or not to draw. So basically, I'm going to call this sketching and drawing.
Mom, you going to do a little shout out to anybody?
Yes. So come on in and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if this is your first time watching or if you've been watching every day. Today is day 6 of day 10, and we are halfway through. We have halfway to go. And let me give some shout outs. Hello, Miss Kathy and Miss Margaret. And Bonnie, yay, I found you. Miss Margaret says, I've been here every day. Woohoo, Miss Margaret.
Oh, yeah. Let me say hi to a couple people.
Yes.
Hello to Michael and Sharon and Tracy Graham and Monica Stewart and Deborah Hall, right? And Linda and Barbara Cook and Sally from Alabama.
Awesome. Good evening from hot Texas. Deborah says, Miss Deborah, we know it is hot here. We're getting heat warnings. It's like 100 degrees today. So, like I said, every day that it's hot like this, I wear my hair up. That's just the thing we do.
We're not up too.
Miss Cindy may not be here today, y'all. They had a really bad storm last night pass by her house, and they lost electricity. So I do not know if she must not have electricity stored back, because I haven't heard from her. And they have a generator that they like turn on and off. And I know, bless them, they are in the heat. So maybe they went somewhere to find some air. I don't know. So, yeah, no power in central Mississippi, somebody said. That's where she lives. She lives close to Jackson, Mississippi, somewhere in there. So, that's probably that same area.
Tracy Graham said that.
Oh, Tracy Graham said that. And congratulations, Tracy Graham, for winning our second prize of the challenge. You are one of our most supportive, one of the most active members in the group. Remember, I told you I have access to that, and I can see who's participating and who's not, and who's here and who's not here. And so I take the top members of the group that have been participating, and I draw a name for the day for a prize. So we have given away 2 prizes so far. One was a $20 gift card to Miss Linda Abear, to Blick.com. The second one was an acrylic travel set with a travel cup, and then we will give away another prize today. So one more shout out we're going to do today before we get started, just because it's super fun and I haven't given enough shout outs yet today. Stella's going crazy.
And Stella smells like horse scat. Oh, wow.
We have a GSP in here with us that's wanting to run her 5 miles that she's supposed to run every day in this room.
Yeah, it's too hot outside to do it.
Okay, so let me see if I can find me. All right, so let's give some shout outs here. Let's give some shout outs. All right, let's see what people are doing. I'm so excited, y'all. You know what? I'm going to go to the photos. That's a good shot of me. Look at that one. So let's give some shout outs. We've been painting some pears. Look at, is it Chally? I think I'm saying it right. Look at Chally's work that she did here. Excellent job, Miss Chally. And I'm just randomly choosing some. I'm not trying to pick favorites or anything like that. Let's look at this one. Who is this? Marie Eversole posted her work. Look at her work. How awesome. I love the colors.
Eversole.
Huh?
I'm sure it's Eversole.
Okay. I love the colors that she used here. She used kind of like an aqua blue in there instead of that green. I love that. Here's another beautiful piece, Luann Kaiser. Look at her work. Isn't it so awesome to look through all of these pieces? Look at Miss Elaine Morales. Great job, Miss Elaine. I love your trees. I love that impressionistic look where you can't really see any leaves on the trees, but it's just, that whole impressionistic look is so awesome. Look at this one right here. Y'all, I would frame that. Look at this. Miss Laura Copeland is doing a beautiful job with her pears. Wasn't that pear painting so much fun? I just want to paint some more pears. Madeline Griblin. Look at you, Madeline. You are rocking. I love it. I love the colors. I love the green, and then the orange back there really makes that green pop by putting that orange back there. So it really looks like y'all are learning something, and y'all have no idea. Look at this, all the notes that Miss Pat is taking. And y'all, Miss Pat has been painting with me for 3 years now, but she's still learning, and she still takes notes and participates in everything that we do. I mean,
and we didn't add her pear yet.
Do what?
We haven't uploaded her picture yet. Approved it.
What do you mean?
Don't we approve pictures as they come in? Yeah, we gotta approve. We still got some more we gotta approve.
Okay.
I'm just saying, if their picture's not out, don't worry, we're gonna be approving them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lost you for a minute.
Well,
I was like,
okay.
wait, what did I not do?
Oh, it's okay.
I love Miss Linda Abair's pears. Not to point out anything different about anybody else, because I know I've already given Miss Linda a prize. So kudos to Miss Linda. But look at her work here. Look at her light to dark to light to dark to light to dark to light to dark. And then look at her grounding her pears on the table. I think this is beautiful. This is something to be framed, Miss Linda. I love it. You are doing an awesome job. And thank you so much for sharing your work. And I don't know how to get out of this photo. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
And there's her notes that she's taken. And that's mine. And here's another one. Oh, Miss Marie, I've already shared something of hers. But if you have not taken the opportunity, look at Miss Faye. Miss Faye has been painting for a while. She is not a member of my group, but she follows me and participates in my challenges and in a lot of my tutorials. And she always posts in our Share Tuesday. And I remember you, Miss Faye, because you have just a beautiful style in your work. And I think you've been painting for a while, if I'm not mistaken. I'd love to know how long you've been painting. Miss Faye Tucker, she has a style about her that I know I cannot reproduce. But she has a beautiful feel to her paintings that always makes me want to view them longer than just a second, So I'm really, really proud of you, Miss Faye, for participating and being a part of everything that we have to offer. Even if you're not a member of anything you do and you just follow and like and share what I do, It helps me in my business. So I really do appreciate if you post and you comment on other people's posts. That's all I'm asking you to do, and show us what you're learning. Show us what you're doing. That's what it's all about. So I just wanted to share that with all of you, and thank you for being so supportive and for being a part of this experience, because I am super excited about all that I'm seeing that y'all are learning. I really get a big smile on my face in the evening when I'm scrolling through all of the posts and I'm seeing what you're working on and how much you're learning. And I'm even like, Michael's in another world doing something else, listening to his Elk 101 videos or something. And I'll be like, Michael, look how cute. Look what they did. Oh my gosh, they're doing so good. And he's like, oh yeah, that's good.
Oh, that's cool. That is so cool.
No, he really does like looking at your stuff.
I just can't see it.
Yeah, he's color deficient. So.
And by the way, Linda Hebert,
Uh-huh.
come June 19th, will have been with us for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, hey, like.
Oh, Miss A-Bear, you are so sweet. I love hearing that.
Isn't that great?
Okay, so this is what we're gonna start on today. Today we are going to start working on our 8x10 piece. Okay, and I don't know if you remember, but through the whole process of everything, we talked about we were gonna work on a painting. Although we've been working on a lot of paintings, we were gonna work on a painting that I really take you through a little more in-depth, step-by-step, instead of just a little mini painting on the side. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about our canvas and the preparation that is optional for preparing your canvas. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is, before we even start our sketching and drawing, we're going to talk about the prep of our canvas. If you are using canvas or wood or your surface, whatever surface you're using. Okay, there's something called gesso. Okay, and it is, you can use gesso if you want, but you do not have to use gesso. Okay, it is optional. However, many professional artists, nope, that's not my gesso. Many professional artists use it to make their canvas smoother. Okay, it's almost like a primer, and I'm going to show you my gesso that I use. This is from Blick, and it is white gesso. I use gesso if I know that I have a piece that is like a commission piece. Baby, when you have a minute, can you turn that air down?
Yes, I'll do it right now.
That is like a commission piece that I know it's somebody paid for me to actually paint it for them. And I'm just going to show you, it's, my gesso is white. This one is white. It's kind of like sour cream, I guess. And basically you just add it on the surface of your canvas or your wood or anything, even if you're using like watercolor paper. And you don't want the acrylic paint to absorb into the watercolor paper as much. You might want to put a layer of gesso. Gesso is not a paint, okay? It's not an acrylic paint, but it allows your paint to move better on the canvas. It makes your painting experience a little bit more enjoyable. And I'm going to show you, and I'll just read right here what it says. It says, this is a high quality artist gesso. It offers excellent opacity, tooth adhesion, and water resistant. Okay, so it's like a primer, and it allows your paint to not go through the canvas. If you're working on like a cotton canvas, or if you're working on paper, or maybe even if you're working on wood. I love to work on wood. And if you've ever worked on wood and painted on wood, you have seen that acrylic paint just absorbs into that wood immediately. Okay, even if you wet your paintbrush and you put it on, it absorbs into it immediately. So I do prefer working with a gesso. It does make your painting experience a little more enjoyable, but it is an added cost. And it can definitely be optional. You may not want to do the gesso thing until you feel like you're ready to make that leap and go a little deeper and a little more advanced into your paintings. Okay. This is just a little bit of gesso that I put on here just to show you how, I don't know if you can see that. You can see how it's just going to make my surface a little more soft or a little more smooth to paint on instead of having the hard, you know, those little dots you have in your canvases. Okay. But we're going to talk a little bit more about gesso because I like to use gesso sometimes for, I'm going to show you this, for my grounding color. Okay. Some artists like to do this. Some don't really care. However, most of the artists that are professional that I follow, they do put some color on their canvas before they start painting. Okay, instead of just starting with a solid white surface, they will add a color. And one of my favorite colors to add is orange. They will add a color to their canvas, and it just makes it's called an underpainting. It makes your painting pop. Okay, so I am going to add orange gesso to my canvas today. Yes.
You use a knife or a brush for gesso, and did you talk about what if your gesso is kind of runny? How do you thicken it up? Knife or brush, runny gesso.
You could do whatever you want, knife or brush. Okay, if you want a really smooth surface and you want a really thin layer of gesso, then you would probably want to use a brush because a brush is going to go. And I'm actually going to show you right now. I just used a palette knife. You can see how it's got a little texture in it. If you want that type of look, then go with the palette knife. But maybe you just want your gesso to be thin. And so I'm just going to take it. I'm going to spread it out just a little bit more.
Gessos together?
You can.
I'm just asking if you've ever done it.
Yeah, you can. You can actually, if you have white gesso and you want that orange like I'm doing right now, you can just add some orange paint into your gesso and then put it down.
Well, that's kind of saving money too.
Yeah. Well, you still want to, gesso is not paint. Okay. Gesso does have a different purpose than just regular paint does. All right. So I'm just adding a little bit of water so that it spreads out a little bit more. Just to show y'all.
I like the orange.
I love the orange.
Do you always wet your brush when painting? Would you ever not wet your brush?
I usually do wet my brush every time. If you don't wet your brush, you'll see. Just try it and don't wet your brush, and then try to paint and see what happens. And that'll be your answer right there.
Yeah, so Michael Garlock asked, gesso, white, and orange at the same time, not mixed. I'm not really sure what that means.
Gesso, white, and orange at the same time. It would make it a lighter orange. Is that what you're saying? If you want a lighter orange. There's a lady on Facebook that I follow, and I'm gonna show y'all. I can't remember the name of her Facebook group. Of course, since I want to show y'all, I can't remember her name.
Heck, nabbit.
Oh, M. Some of y'all might be a part of her group. MH Designs. I think that's her name. MH Designs. MH Designs. No, that's not her. It's something MH. Y'all might know who I'm talking about. Anyway, I've seen some of her pieces lately. I am sweating. All of a sudden, I got really hot. You know those internal heaters that come on?
You turn the fan on?
I think I'll be okay. Whew. Melissa, yes. Melissa Howington or something like that. Okay, go look at her stuff too. She's a really cool artist. I love her work. MH something. She uses like a hot pink underpainting on some of her paintings. I can't find her, of course, just because I want to find her. And her paintings are beautiful. You can see that pink shining through in her paintings, and it just makes a totally different look to your painting. So my favorite is orange. Sometimes I'll use a little bit of like a
Melissa Howard.
It's Howlington or something like that.
Hey.
MJH Designs, that's it. MJH Designs. Go look at her stuff. She's a beautiful artist. She's fun to watch. So anyway, she uses that underpainting in like a hot pink, and it's really cool. I've seen some of her pieces, and I just really, really like that. So we're going to use orange today. You do not have to use orange if you do not want to use orange. All right. But the first thing I did was I just added my layer of orange gesso on my canvas. Now I'm going to have to let this dry some. So I'm going to put it on the side, and then we're going to start talking about sketching and drawing. Okay. I'm going to pull up the photo that we are going to use for our reference today. The photo in the top right-hand corner is a photo that one of my tribe sisters, and I'm going to show y'all here, one of my tribe sisters sent to me, and we have been given permission to use it as a reference. But I want you to know that I am not going to use the photo exactly how it is, okay? I'm going to use the barn, and I'm going to use the flowers, but I'm going to move them around a little bit. Because one thing is, I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. One thing is, I wanted to practice our thirds rule that we learned yesterday. And so when I first looked at this photo, I was like, okay, it's a beautiful photo, and I want to use a lot of the components of it, but I just want to make it a little more pleasing to the eye for us to have maybe an even better painting than just using it as is. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. We're going to sketch this out, and I'm just going to show you how to sketch, but I'm also going to let you know that you do not have to know how to sketch or draw to be able to be a painter, especially if you're in my memberships, because we provide you with tracing templates if you don't want to learn how to draw or you don't feel comfortable enough yet knowing how to draw. However, when we do the tutorial live, the first part of the tutorial, and I'll actually do that with y'all today, I'll show you how. The first part of my tutorial, when we go live, I do not use the template when I'm teaching. I first teach you how to actually draw and sketch on your canvas, and then we start the painting. So at the time that I'm teaching you how to draw or sketch, you can just transfer the template over to your canvas at that time and not worry about that part of the tutorial. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. All right. I'm going to just kind of sketch my little thirds just so I have an idea of where they are. I'm just using a pencil, okay? I'm not really particular on everything, like detail and all of that. I just want to come up with a sketch. That's it. A very, very loose sketch. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is in my head, I'm thinking, all right, so I want my horizon. By the way, I'm going horizontal on my canvas. I'm working horizontal. I'm not working vertical. Okay, I know the photo looks like it would be perfect to work vertical, but we're changing it. We're going to go horizontal. That's just a personal preference of mine. Okay, no other reason why. All right.
Can you sketch on top of gesso?
Yes, you can sketch on top of gesso, but mine is still wet, and so I'm going to let it dry a little bit longer. Okay, so we're going to just sketch on here. I'm going to make my horizon about a third of the way down, and then I am going to, I know I had, let's print it out over here. I am going to put my barn I'm going to sketch out my born to the best of my ability. I'm going to start with the little rectangle there. And then I'm going to make the front side of my born. I'm not trying to be perfect, y'all. I'm just trying to do a quick sketch. Okay. There's some things about angles that I teach you in my membership group. We do 1-point perspective and 2-point perspective for you to learn how to get your perspective right. We actually do that in our membership, and I do teach you that. But I'm just going to sketch this out. You want all these angles to go to a certain point. Okay, so we're going to just sketch that out really quick. And I want my flowers to go kind of down here on this side because I wanted to put a little road. I wanted to put a little road, like a little path right there, just going away from my born. Okay. So the last thing was I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have a bunch of trees over here. Maybe I'll have one big tree at this intersection point to make a focal point right there as well. So I'm using a lot of composition in my thoughts when I'm drawing this out. This is going to be flowers, by the way. I don't know if you can actually tell that. I'm thinking about my composition. I'm thinking about the thirds. This born right here is kind of like, it's not centered. It's not directly in the center. Okay, it's off to one of the sides. I use a little bit of the S curve in here to make like a little path. And the bottom third right here, I'm putting some flowers. The top third, I'm putting some trees. Now, normally you don't have to have this many objects at every single intersection in your thirds. Normally, most of the time, just one is fine. Okay, just one is fine. But since this photo has a lot of beautiful pieces to it, I figured we might as well just add them all in there and then we'll work from there. So maybe you don't like this. Maybe you want to change it up a little bit. So you can take an additional sketch, and I'll show y'all in just a second what I did earlier on something else I was sketching. Maybe you said, okay, well, let's put the horizon way up here and let's make the born little bitty. Okay, because it's further away. And you went with your angles there. And then maybe you wanted a big trail coming around. I don't know, I'm just playing. And then right here, you wanted the flowers, okay? Maybe you like that. Maybe you like that better, all right? It's totally up to you. I'm going to show you how you can still use the reference photos to paint in these pieces, but the reference photo does not have to, you don't have to put the objects exactly where they are in the photo. Okay, notice how I moved the born around. I made it a little bit to the left on this one up here. Not only that, on this one, I made it a lot smaller than the photo has it. Okay, but I'm still going to look at that photo to help me paint the colors of the born, the way the shadows hit the born, all that kind of stuff. All right. So I want to show you something that I did for a recent painting that we did in the tribe. I was having trouble deciding how to paint this piece. And so I said, you know what? I need to sketch it. I need to just go and start sketching. And so I did. I took my sketch pad here and I started sketching. I had something in my mind. I looked at a bunch of photos on Pinterest and all different places on the internet, but I took just little pieces of those photos and I sketched them out. And I said, okay, I like this one. I knew I wanted like a little swing or a rocker or something, and I wanted a born in the background. I sketched this one. You see, I decided, I don't really like that one too much. I sketched this one down here. I decided I didn't really like that one. And I just kept on going until finally I said, you know what? I took this sketch right here and I said, I'm going to refine it a little bit more. And I sketched it again and I said, okay, I like that one the best. That's the one I'm going with. That's the one we're going to create a painting out of. And somewhere around here, I think, yep, I have it. This is the painting that we ended up creating. Okay, that's the painting we ended up creating.
That sketch looks beautiful.
I put 2 rockers, but y'all, after I painted it, I painted 1 rocker. I was like, nope, 1 rocker is enough. That rocker was very hard to paint. So I just left it at that. So that's some ideas to help you with your sketching and your drawing. You don't have to be an artist, or you don't have to be a perfect drawer to be able to do, you know, stuff like this. All right. But it's super fun for you to play around with sketching and drawing. All right. So that's something I wanted to share with you. Then what if that completely intimidates you and you say, oh, no, I can't do that. I don't want to do that.
Oh, no.
Well, in our tribe, we create templates for everything that we decide to paint. And this is an example of a template. And I shared this template with y'all, and I'm going to tape it together. And I'm going to show you how you can still paint with us, even though you can't get the drawing right, or you can't get the perspective right. Okay.
Question, yeah.
What's that?
When we take things from different photos,
Mm-hmm.
is that considered an original, even if we follow the other art pretty close?
No.
Okay.
It is
As long as
not.
you change it up.
Oh, you mean is it considered your original? Yes, it is considered your original. Absolutely. I think so. You just cannot, you can't go to Pinterest and say, oh, look at this piece of art. It is beautiful. I want to recreate that and I want to paint that and post it as my own. You cannot do that.
Thank you.
You cannot do that. So, okay. So I just cut this out and I taped it together. And this is my template that I'm going to use. And I'm going to show you how a lot of our members use the template to, you know what, I didn't get my tracing paper.
Do I
Let
need
me
to
get that. I got it. Not tracing paper, but carbon paper or a transfer paper or whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is, you can look it up on Amazon. I have it in my Amazon store. This is called carbon paper or transfer paper. You can get it in all different colors. I usually buy it in black and also white, because sometimes we'll paint on a black canvas, and in order to transfer, you need something other than black to get that transfer to go through. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the shiny side, or the side that is the transfer. You can kind of tell it's kind of like rubbery kind of. And you're going to put that down on your canvas, the side that you want to transfer. And then you're going to put this down. Now, some people do this, which is probably the smarter thing to do. I just had my tape. Right here it is. They tape down their template where they want it first. Okay, tape it down. And then just kind of slide it up and put the paper underneath it. And you can reuse this stuff over and over and over. So it lasts for a really long time. And then I'm going to take, I like to take a hard point pin, because one, it gives me something really hard to press down on. And two, I can see where I've already traced. And I'm just going to trace everything. I'm going to check it to make sure it's transferring over. And it is. So I'm going to keep on going. I don't like to do transfers, but I'm just going to show you how to do it. Now, I do use transfers for animals, especially cows and birds and, well, any animals, especially for their eyes and their nose. I do not do well with placement of eyes and nose and mouth on an animal. I don't paint portraits. I haven't even tried. I'm not really interested in painting portraits. But when I do animals, I do use a template to make sure that their face looks like an actual animal, you know? So that's something that I'm still working on. I don't spend enough time practicing my drawing of an animal face to get really good at it. But everything else, I'm pretty confident. I don't feel like I need a template anymore. I used to use a template all the time. But remember, we're all learning, and you will never stop learning in the whole process of your art journey. You're always going to be learning something new. It's just a part of the art journey. It just continues going on and on. I'm not going to, well, I guess I'll just do like this. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to take this off, and then you can see that it is transferred. Now, this is basically the painting that we are going to start painting. Okay. And we're actually not going to start painting today. We're going to cut it short today because we have a dinner date tonight. And, but I wanted to show you how we do our sketching and our drawing. And this is as far as we're going to go. But I do want to tell you, don't throw your template away, because what's going to happen is as we start painting, okay, as we start blocking in our colors and painting the sky and everything, you might end up painting over the tracing of the tree, okay? And if you do, then you're going to be like, uh-oh, I don't have my tracing on my template anymore, on my painting anymore, and I need to transfer it over. So don't throw it away, because you might find something that happens like that, where after your painting dries and you're still working on it, you need to go back and you need to retrace something onto your canvas. The carbon that it leaves on your painting surface is going to be covered up by the paint. So it's not going to show through. It's not going to bounce back through. Okay. It's actually going to be covered up. All right. Everything is going to be covered up completely. Okay. So that is what I wanted to show you tonight. And I would love to know if anybody has any questions. If you don't have transfer paper, yes, can you use chalk? That is a great question, Miss Kathy. I'm so glad you asked that. Let me show you.
And is the template in the files in the group? Yes,
the template is in the files in the guide for day 6. I put the template, and the reference photo is in there as well. And then, of course, now this video is in there. But Miss Kathy was asking, what if you don't have transfer paper? That is a great question. I've had to do this before, because I've been like away on a trip and I didn't have any transfer paper. I was like, oh man. So anyway, let me show you. Here's a piece of chalk. Okay. It doesn't have to be white. It could be blue, pink, whatever color you want it to be. I'm going to color over everywhere. You can even use a pencil. I'm going to color over everywhere with the chalk that I know that I have the transfer to go. And let me even show you with a different color. Here's a pretty green color.
Phyllis says you can use a pencil too.
You can use a pencil too. That's exactly right, Miss Phyllis. Thank you for reminding me about that. Excuse me.
Hello, Marianne. Oops, late.
That's okay, Miss Marianne. A lot of people have been asking about replays, and yes, you have access to the replays.
For 30 days after completion of this Acrylic 101.
That is right. So that makes it July 20th will be the end of the replays. All right, so I have chalk now, and then you would just do the same thing you just did without the transfer paper. Now it's a little more messy to do it this way, but I'll just show you really quick. If I press down, you can see it doesn't show up quite as bright, but it still gives you, can y'all see that white there?
Mm-hmm.
It still gives you the transfer. And then I'll show y'all the green right here as well. You see the green, you can see the lines that I made right there.
No ma'am, Barbara.
So yeah.
It will be available in the tribe for you continually.
Yes, if you are a member of the mini den or the den, you will have access to this Acrylic 101 10-day challenge indefinitely. Because basically what I do when you join the groups, this is the first thing that I recommend you watch, is all of this basic information. Because if you don't have this basic information and you just try to dive into one of the painting tutorials, you may get lost. Okay? So this is definitely the beginning of your journey in the membership groups. So we have 2 membership groups. One of them is, and we are open right now. One of them is a mini den, basically 1 live painting per month. And then the other one is the den, which is the VIP group. We have 1 live painting per week. Someone emailed me today and asked if they could join both groups. It does not benefit you to join both groups because the painting that is in the mini den is one of the paintings that we do in the den. Right. Okay? So it's not like 5 paintings total. It's 4 paintings total per month, but the den only gets 1 of the 4. I mean, the mini den only gets 1 of the 4.
Okay. Can you give us the prices again?
Yes, the prices are $19 a month for the mini den and $35 a month for the den. Okay, I'm trying to change the name. Instead of the mini, what did I call it? Jen's Den Art Mini Tribe. I'm trying to get rid of the word tribe in my groups. And so I'm trying to just use the word den because this is my den. This is the name of my business is Jen's Den. So
Mama Hope became a mini tribe member today.
Yay, Hope. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that you joined. You will not regret it. Please let us know if you do join. You have until June 20th to join. If you do join, I can probably show you. Well, no, we'll talk about that another day. One day pretty soon, probably tomorrow or the next day. I'll let y'all know for sure. I'm going to take you on a guided tour behind the scenes so you can see all of the tutorials that you get access to in the den. Because there's over 250 or 240 video tutorials. I've been doing this since February 2020. And so every week since February 2020, this membership has just been growing and growing and growing in content. In the den, you get the VIP group, you get access to anything that I have ever made a video for. Anything. You have complete access to it all. You get in the pop-up paint parties for free.
What is that website, Jen, so I can post it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Cindy must not be around.
Yeah,
I'll do it.
Candy asked, where do we find this information?
Let me type it in. That would be nice if I would send y'all the information.
If you want to join, we should probably post something. So, thank you, Candy.
Also, if you don't join right now, can I join in July? We will not be open in July, but I will tell you this. If you get in the mini den and you realize, oh man, I should have gone to the den, which happens often for a lot of our members, you could just transfer over. You can just, it will prorate your amount and then it'll bump you up to the new group. Because once you're in, you don't have to wait for a launch. Once you're in, you can go up and down. You can say, okay, well, maybe you're going on a trip for a couple of months to Europe, and you're not going to have a lot of time to paint, but you might have a little bit of time. So you're not going to have time to paint 4 paintings or once a week. Maybe you just want to paint once a month. So you can drop down to the mini tribe. Okay. You just can't start a new subscription whenever you want, because the onboarding process is, we want to make sure that everybody is happy once they get in and they understand how to use everything. Because, technology is not the most friendly to us sometimes. And sometimes the login process to first get your profile set up is a little tricky. And so we have to kind of hold your hand and those kind of things. So that's why, and because we're all starting the journey kind of at the same time. So that's why we do it in every like 4 or 5 months, we start a new, a new launch. Okay. We are in day 6 right now. You still have time to make up your mind, and you still have time to ask as many questions as you want. Please email. I'm going to put this in here. If you email support@jensdenart.com, if you email support@jensdenart.com, we will answer your questions daily. Like I said, Cindy, who answers my emails, she's out of electricity right now. So give her a little grace on answering your emails. She should be back up and running hopefully pretty soon. But after our dinner date tonight, I can come back and check them as well. My website is everything's going to lead to my website, or starts at my website, which is, I'm typing it in right now, jensdenart.com. If you go to jensdenart.com, you will find, right when you go there, you'll find how to join the tribe, how to contact us, questions that you may have, all of that kind of stuff. So please take your time and, take some time to think about it, because I do want you to know that I have finally made the leap of faith to invest in myself as an artist, because I have realized now that I have been painting for 6 or 7 years. I realize that I have a larger dream, and my dream is to become a fine artist and to have my work in galleries and to have people want to spend $1,500 on one of my pieces of art. I know that I'm not there yet, but I do want to get there one day. And so in order for me, and you don't all have to have that same dream, okay? But in order for me to get there and to continue to grow, I have to practice. I have to continue to educate myself and invest in myself. And so I actually am a member to some professional artists online that I learn from as well. So all of those things are very important even if you just want to be a part of a community. Some of our community members, or some of our members, our tribe sisters, they are best friends now. Like, they actually drive to each other's house and spend the day together and things like that. So I will say this, one of our members, Miss Pat, she has taken her love of painting. She's always wanted to be an artist, but she was always kind of not given the encouragement to do so. And she joined Jen's Den almost 3 years ago. And now her dream has come true. She is teaching classes at her church to other people. She's teaching art classes to them. And she is just the happiest little lady I've ever seen. And we love Miss Pat. She's always on here sharing what she's doing. And those are the kind of things, like, we're all friends now. She lives in New York, and it's just awesome hearing all of the all of the testimonies that so many of our tribe members have. And so yeah, I just wanted to share that all with
Not to
you.
mention, and I'm not trying to be like anyone you may have heard on TV, but this is a time in our lives where you really need to invest in yourself. If you're not going to invest in painting, that's fine, but do something for yourself to bless yourself. I don't mean that as in a sense of go out and buy a lot of things. I mean, put your energy in things that are good, that are noble, that are kind, that are loving, that are peaceful. Those are the things that we should invest our time and energy in, because they pay dividends not only to you, but your family and to those that you meet.
And I think today we are going to end this session the way that we like to end our sessions in our tribe. Michael, if you want to come over.
Yes.
Putting you on the spot, but it's okay.
Oh, no, you're not putting me on the spot.
During our lives in our Facebook group, at the end of our lives, we do a little prayer. Well, during the live, we have like prayer requests, or in the Facebook group, we take prayer requests. And then at the end of the live, we usually take a moment to end in the painting with a little prayer and a little speech from our mental health therapist, prayer warrior here.
So I tell you this, take today and invest in yourself mentally and emotionally by enjoying what you've done so far with us and what you're going to be doing. Think about it, play around with your painting, practice, have a good time. This is a good thing. So let's pray. So Holy God, we thank you for this time that you've given us to come and share the talent that you have given Jen with everyone. Lord, we love you, we praise you, and we thank you for the blessings of life. And we would ask, God, that you would lift your hands, oh Lord, and place them among every single person that's on tonight, God, and protect them and guide them throughout this weekend. We love you and we thank you. And we ask, oh God, that you look over our entire family. For it is in Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, right on.
All right, guys. We hope you have a great Friday evening. And we would love to see your work that you're doing, even if it's just the transfer process or the sketch of your piece on your canvas. We would love to see it. We hope you have a great night, and thanks for being here. Bye.